Hello my dear students. As we have discussed everything about force, right? That is, what is force, how many types of force are there, then causes of force, effects of force, everything about force, right? So I hope the previous topics were useful to you. Now in this class we will start about our last topic, that is what? Pressure. Okay, so first of all we'll see the definition. So definition goes as, pressure means what? Pressure is the force acting on a unit area of the object. This is the definition of pressure. So pressure is what? Pressure is the force. It is basically speaking about the force which is acting on a unit area of the object. Unit area means what? It is calculated as 1. Area means what? Area means 1 meter square. The unit of area means what? Meter square. So unit means 1. Anything which is talking about unit, it is calculated as 1. So here it is speaking about force, right? Force which is acting on some area. So depending on the area, pressure is calculated. So the formula for pressure goes as, pressure, which is also written as P, is equals to force divided by area. Force is also written as what? F, and area can be written as capital letter A or small letter a. Okay, so pressure means force per unit area, that is force divided by area. Now we know the unit of pressure, or the SI unit of pressure, force is what? The SI unit of force is Newton. Yes, and the SI unit or SI unit of area is what? The unit of area is meter square. So the unit of pressure will be what? Unit of pressure will be Newton divided by meter square, which is known as what? Newton per square meter, or it is known as what? Do you know? It is known as Pascal. Newton per square meter is known as Pascal. Pascal is written as PA. See, P and small letter a is written as Pascal. Therefore the SI unit of pressure is what? Therefore the SI unit of pressure is Newton per square meter, which is also called what? Which is also called Pascal, or written as PA. Therefore 1 Pascal pressure is equivalent to 1 Newton per meter square, or Newton square per square meter. Therefore we will define 1 Pascal pressure is, 1 Pascal pressure means what? When a force of 1 Newton is acting on an area of 1 meter square, then the pressure will be what? 1 Pascal. But since student, Pascal is a very small unit of pressure, so a bigger unit of pressure is known as what? It is known as kilopascal, or it is written as what? K, that is capital letter K, and PA, that is kilopascal. It is also used. From all this discussion, I think it is very much clear that pressure is what? Pressure is produced when a force acts on an object. That means when pressure is produced, when force is acting on an object, then pressure is created or pressure is produced. Yes. So now students, as we know, pressure, the formula of pressure is what? Pressure equals to force divided by area. So here see, area is in the numerator or denominator. Here we are seeing that force is in the numerator and area is in the denominator. Yes. Since area is in the denominator of the pressure formula, therefore we can say what? We can say that pressure is inversely proportional to area. Yes, it is not directly proportional to area. If it had been in the, that is if the area had been in the numerator, then we could have said that pressure is directly proportional to area. But since the area is in the denominator, therefore we can say that the pressure is inversely proportional to area. So inversely proportional means this is the formula, this is the symbol, that pressure is inversely proportional to area. But inversely proportional means what? What does that mean? It means that larger the area of surface, smaller will be what? Smaller will be the pressure. Since area is in the denominator, so larger the area, smaller the pressure, and smaller the area, larger the pressure. So it means what? Larger the area of surface, smaller will be the pressure produced by a given force, and smaller the area of surface, larger will be the pressure produced by the same force. So from the above discussion, we come to know that we conclude that pressure depends upon what? It is depending upon two factors. That is, pressure is depending upon two factors. Yes, it is very simple. From the formula only we can predict, right? We can see that pressure is depending upon two factors. That is what? Force and area. So one number factor is what? Force applied, and the second factor is area over which force acts. That means what? That means the same force can produce different pressure depending on the area over which it acts. Yes, the same force can produce different pressure depending on the area over which it acts. For example, when a force acts over a larger area of an object, it produces what? It produces a small amount of pressure. But if the same force acts over a small area of the object, then it will produce what? It will produce a large pressure. Now students, depending upon this, that is depending upon the formula, depending upon or on the basis of this pressure formula, we will study some everyday observations on the basis of pressure. Okay. So first observation is what? Why school bags have white straps? Yes. Why school bag have white straps? Okay. So all of you carry school bags at your schools, right? So you have seen that your school bag, most of the school bags have what? White straps, or handbag. School bag or handbag, we can say it has white straps. So why is it so? We will see now. A school bag has white strap made of what? Made of thick cloth. The thick cloth can be called as canvas, so that the child get what? So that the child get less amount of pressure on the shoulder. Yes, that is why it is what? That is why it is used. That is why the white strap has been used, so that what? The weight of the bag may fall over a large area of the shoulder of the child, producing what? Less amount of pressure, and it becomes easier for the child or more comfortable for the child to carry the heavy school bag. Then again, what we are saying that, so that see, a school bag has white strap made of thick cloth, so that child gets less pressure on the shoulder and becomes more comfortable to carry the heavy school bag. Yes, that means what? If the school bag has a strap made of thin string, then what will happen? Then the weight of school bag will fall over a what? Will fall over a small area. If the strap was made of thin string, then it will, thin string means what? It will fall over a small area. Yes, small area means what? Larger pressure. That is, it will be producing large pressure on the shoulder of the child. Then it will not be comfortable for the child to carry the heavy school bag. Okay. So that is why school bags have white straps. Okay, next come our next observation, That is why a sharp knife cuts better than a blunt knife. So we know sharp knife has a very thin edge, right? Edge means what? Corners. Yes. So sharp knife has a very thin edge to its blade, due to which the force of our hand falls over a very small area of the object, producing what? Producing small area means what? It will produce large pressure, which as a result, that means large pressure means what? It will cut the object. It will go inside the object. Objects means vegetables, fruits, all these objects, and it will cut very easily. That is why what? A sharp knife cuts better than a blunt knife. Then our next observation we'll see is why the tip of a needle is sharp. Yes, why the tip of a needle is sharp. Okay, we will see now. We know what? We know a needle. A needle is also known as sewing needle. So we know a needle is used to what? Is used for what purpose? It is used to pierce an object. Yes, an object or tool, right? So when the tip of a needle is sharp, it can put the force on a very small area of the cloth. So by small area, what does come to your mind? Small area means large pressure. So hence producing a large amount of pressure, which is what? Which is sufficient to pierce the cloth, and thus it helps us in stitching the cloth. That is why the tip of a needle is sharp. Now our last observation we'll see is why the depression is much more when a man stands on the cushion than he lies down on it. So when a man stands on a cushion, then only his two leg or 2 feet, which is having small area, are in contact with the cushion, right? See students, when a man is standing on a cushion, then what happens? Then only his 2 feet, which is having small area, are in contact with the cushion, right? So the 2 feet which is having small area means what? Small area means large pressure. So the 2 feet will be producing larger pressure. So that is why it will produce more depression on the cushion. But on the other hand, when the same man is lying on the cushion, then his whole body, okay, yes, when he will be lying, then his whole body will be lying, right? That means what? That means when the same man is lying on the cushion, then his whole body, which is having larger area, right? Larger area than what? Than the 2 feet. Earlier the 2 feet was in contact with the cushion. Now the larger area, that means the whole body will be in contact with the cushion. Therefore the weight of man falls on a much larger area, right, than that of the earlier case. So much larger area means what? Smaller pressure. So that means the weight of the man falls on a much larger area of the cushion, producing smaller amount of pressure. That is why the depression is much more when a man stands on the cushion than that he lies down on it. So on the basis of this observation, we will see another example. See students, in your book figure 23, a tractor is shown, and a tractor, see here it is written, a tractor with very wide tires. Tractors have wide tires, right? You have seen tractors, they have wide tires, wide or broad tires. So why is it so? We'll see it now. See, a tractor have broad tires so that there is what? Less pressure on the ground, and the tires do not sink into it comparatively soft ground in the field. Yes, tractors are used mostly in the villages, yes, in the fields, and when the farmers sow crops, they used to sow crops in the wet land, right? So that is why tractors have broad tires, that so that it does not sink into comparatively soft ground in the field. Okay. Then the next example is a wide steel belt is provided over the wheels of army tanks. Have you seen army tanks? Yes. There are large or wide steel belt which is provided over the wheels of army tanks. Why is it so? That because they exert less pressure on the ground and do not sink into it. Same thing. Same like the tractor one. Then wooden sleepers are kept below the railway line. Do you know that? Why is it so? Do you know? This is because there is less pressure on the train which has been running on the railway track. Okay, train has very large amount of weight. So when the train will be running on the railway track, then the track is producing some amount of pressure on the ground, right? So it may sink into the ground. That is why wooden sleepers are kept below the railway line, so that there is less pressure on the train of the train on the ground, and railway line may not sink into the ground. Then comes the snowshoes. That is, snowshoes have large flat soles, so that there is less pressure on the snow of the soft snow and stop the wearer. Wearer means the person who is wearing it from sinking into it. Now next example is, it is easier to walk on soft sand if we have flat shoes rather than shoes with small heels or pencil heels. Why is it so? Flat shoes means what? It is covering larger amount of area, and larger amount of area means what? Smaller pressure. So we should wear flat shoes rather than what? Small heels or pencil heels in case of soft sand, so that our leg or our feet does not sink into it. Okay, so we have studied about the definition of pressure, the formula of pressure, and some observation based on the formula. Yes, in the next video we will study about some subtopics related to pressure. Okay, so please students, study this at home.